Hi everyone, I'm Frank Garcia from Prima here at Scrapbook.com. I want to share with you our third class here, which is my La Mer mini album. I always create really fancy boxes for my mini albums because I really feel like they need to be in a fancy box, right? Oh, it's an awe moment for me every time I open my box. And here's my La Mer album, and I call these albums artful mini albums because they really truly are a work of art. And we're going to be using a lot of different mediums on here to create this beautiful color on our seashells. We're going to be using a lot of beautiful Prima flowers and altering a flower too, so you can see how you can alter these flowers with different colors. I'm also going to be showing you a lot of techniques here on how to store your photos, how to create fun pockets and fun flaps here to have little journaling spots. And also, I wanted to show you guys, there's also a lot of different ways that you can use your embellishments here and kind of, use it as little note cards, write little messages. I also like using these for photos as well. So that's some of the things we're going to be learning. And as you can see, I did a lot of different altering of some of our embellishments, for example, our resins. Okay, so I hope you guys can join me. This is a really fun class, and see you soon. Here's my La Mer album. I really love this album because it's really all handmade and it's all truly Prima. You can see that there's a lot of pages in here, but I want to show you some of the key components of this album. I went ahead and put the album together using just some regular chipboard and some cardstock. I went ahead and just added a 3 by 6.5 inch piece of cardstock, folded it in half, and attached each chipboard page. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and remove this piece of tape here, and I'm going to start using some paper. The paper we're using today is from the Seashore collection. Really love this paper line. Has a lot of nice blues and some browns in there, so it's really nice and vintage. I'm going to be using that paper collection. I'm going to go ahead and pick out here one of the papers that I want to use. I like this one for the cover. It has these vintage stamps. I'm going to go ahead and put that on there. And I'm going to go ahead and center this as best as I can. Now you can either leave your chipboard album just regular craft, which I really like the look of that, or you can also use our new chalkboard paint to add some color. And this is eggshell white. I really like this color. It's a really nice creamy color, so you can add a little bit of that to the border. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and fill the album with the paper, and then we'll move on to the next step, which is adding our shells. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and paint our shells for our La Mer album, and as you can see, there's a lot of beautiful embellishments here that we can custom color with our color bloom sprays. So I'm going to go ahead and add some chalkboard paint. I have chalkboard paint here in eggshell, and this is a really beautiful color because it's really neutral and you can really add any color. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint these just really nicely there, adding a little bit of a thin layer. It doesn't have to be too much. These are already white, but it's nice to add that paint on there because it creates a nice surface for you to spray on, and also because it really adds a nice base coat. So you just want to go ahead and paint these. Okay, nice. I'm going to go ahead and set those down, and I'm going to go ahead and grab my heat tool so I can dry them really quick. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and spray our shells. I'm going to be using a combination of gold foil and some glistening waves, and depending on how light or dark you want these shells, you can really go really nice green, like almost like a seaweed green and yellow, or you can really go more of like a teal like this here. So I'm going to go ahead and take my glistening waves and my gold foil. I'm going to go ahead and start with the gold foil. I'm going to lightly just spray a little bit on the shells, and I'm going to go ahead and dry it. And then I'm going to go ahead and go in with my glistening waves. I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of that. I'm just going to go ahead and dry one. Alright, and you can see there's a really vibrant colors on these shells, and you can get so many different patterns on there with all of the droplets of color. They just show up really nicely. Another thing you can do is you can always add a little bit of the gold crackle texture paste. This is a really neat medium to add to any surface. And here you can see I went ahead and added a little bit of that gold crackle, and you can see some little cracks, and you can see the sheen of the shell just really looks really beautiful. Adds a really nice metallic finish on the shell. Okay, so I have some here that I've already sprayed. I'm gonna go ahead and use these on my cover. I'm gonna go ahead and set them aside really quick. I'm just gonna go ahead and clean this up a little bit. And I have my cover here. I'm gonna go ahead and start with just adding a little paper doily there. I'm gonna use a little bit of tape, just carefully adding a little bit of tape on there. Oops. And I'm just gonna go ahead and center this right in the middle of my cover. Okay, I'm also gonna take my Odette flower. This is one of my favorite flowers. Prima has the best flowers in the industry, and you can see in all of the textures and the really beautiful colors. I'm gonna go ahead and just kind of prop it up here just a little bit, just to make it look more fluffy. I'm gonna take a little bit of hot glue, just put some in the center here. Just gonna go ahead and put that right there. Okay, there's some other flowers here that we can use. These are the cerise flowers, and we're gonna just quickly alter those before adding them to our book. I'm going to take them out. I'm actually only gonna use the smaller one here. And you can see, like I said, that you can customize a lot of these embellishments with simply the color bloom sprays. So I'm gonna add a little bit of this teal here and a little bit of this yellow. And I'm just gonna go ahead and blend those colors. And using your fingers, you can really see that you can start to get really nice. So our flower is nice and dry. You can see the color that it was created with these color bloom sprays. And again, you could go as dark or as light as you want. I like that little combination of color. Now we're gonna go ahead and work with our frames. And our frames, we're gonna create like a bit of a patina effect. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray this with some antique gold. And I want to saturate that frame, and I'm going to go ahead and dry it. And that's the first layer. Now I'm going to go in with my second layer. Alright, now you can see that that color is starting to penetrate into the resin, and now it's a perfect chance for us to add our secondary colors. And we're gonna do something I call spot spraying. We're gonna only spray certain areas. So I'm just gonna spray a little bit here, a little bit there, and I'm gonna go ahead and dry that. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of the gold foil. Again, we're just doing the spots. And I'm gonna go back with my teal here and add just a little bit more. You can see that patina finish. And this is just using 3 different color bloom sprays. Alright, now we're ready to assemble our book. So I have my cerise flower that I went ahead and sprayed. I'm going to go ahead and adhere that to my book. And I like to layer my flowers, so I'm going to go ahead and glue this right under my Odette flower. Just kind of peeking out. I'm going to go ahead and take my chipboard sheet from this collection, and I'm gonna go ahead and take out this element here that's kind of like a compass. You can see right here, and I'm gonna go ahead and adhere that right there so you kind of see how that looks really awesome. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take some glue, and I'm gonna go ahead and adhere it. You want to go ahead and center that as best as you can. That looks pretty cool. And then I'm going to go ahead and peel off this backing here. All of our chipboard is self-adhesive. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in the center, just like that. And now I can start playing with my seashells. I have my seashells that I went ahead and colored with our color bloom spray, so I'm just gonna start putting those down. And when I put my seashells down, I really don't think about it. I just kind of go with the flow. That's kind of how I roll. I'm gonna just go ahead and put that right here. Kind of like how this one looks, so I'm gonna go ahead and put that there. And of course, these are really heavy elements, so I recommend using hot glue. That just works the best. I have this smaller shell that I can put right here. Let me try this one. I think this one may work a little better. There we go. A little smally one. Then I have kind of like this one right here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and adhere that right there. Okay, and I kind of want to have some of these other ones here. And the best way to adhere these is to kind of saturate it with the glue here. Just be very careful because it could get really hot. Just fill that up with the glue. And then you can go ahead and turn it and put it on your book. And then the glue will just fall and adhere that shell. So that way you don't burn yourself. Because I tried and I burned myself. So you don't want to burn yourself. I kind of like how this one looks right there. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere that there. Perfect, just like that. And I have a smally one that I like to put right there in the center. I think that looks really cute, so I'm just gonna put that in the center of the frame there. Okay, I kind of want to put one over here just for fun, just under this one, maybe a little bit of a flatter one. And it's so much fun because you have so many options with the shells. We're gonna put another one of these. Again, I'm gonna go ahead and fill this up with some glue. I'm just gonna turn it over and let that glue kind of sink in there. And then in between here, I'm gonna be adding a few of my Tatiana flowers. These are really beautiful flowers. So much glitter and prettiness. So I'm gonna add these two here. I'm gonna go ahead and adhere this blue one in between, just like this. And then this purple one, or kind of like a light gray, light purple one, I'm gonna go ahead and adhere in between over here. Just like that, kind of peeking out. You don't want it to overwhelm, okay? Now I do have some crystals that I wanna add. These are from our new crystals. Aren't they so pretty and glittery? I love them, and it just goes so perfect with this collection. You get different sizes and 2 different colors. So I'm gonna try not to go wild with these. Just gonna add a few onto my book here. Kind of like how that looks. You can never have too much bling, I say. And that's kind of what you need for the cover. Then you can embellish with a little bit more glitter if you like from our art ingredients line. You can add a bit more glitter to the flowers and to the shells. And that's basically what the cover looks like. So now that we have our cover, we can really go inside and see different ways that we can decorate the inside of our album. So we went ahead and sprayed and colored all of our resins, okay? There's a 4-pack resin that was in that package, so you can color each and every one of these resins and have that patina look. There's also these really pretty tags that look something like this. They're our jean plates from our Junkyard Findings. You can add different words to your pages. As we turn the page here, you can see I use some journaling cards as pockets, and those are from the 4x6 journaling card set. And these are really useful because you can put pockets on each of the pages, but you can also do fun stuff like this. You have all these flaps that you can add photos. You can add little secret things like this. See, you can add little photos under them and you can waterfall them. Okay, there's also some more flowers, and there's also this waterfall here that's a smaller version of the one we just saw, and that comes from our 3x4 journaling card set. And you can do so many things with that. You can do the waterfall, or you can even use them for smaller photos. Everybody does Instagram and social media right now, and everybody loves printing small photos. I love it. So I love these because it's perfect for those small little moments. So I like putting those into my pockets. So here you can see I used the tags from the Tag Me pack here that comes with all of these beautiful tags and tickets. These are really perfect for journaling, for adding even smaller photos if you have smaller photos, and putting them into the pockets. I really think those are really fun. And then as I turn the page, I use some of the paper to create flaps, and I also use some of the chipboard pieces just as little decorations. You can see here more of the 3x4 journaling cards. You can see that I also use the flare buttons here, and this is from the flare button pack here, where you get different designs. And we also get a stamp, which is fun if you want to stamp any part of your album, but I like using them as little embellishments. You can see over here on this page that I use them to hold down these flaps, and you can put little photos in there, and you can basically tuck in that paper under it to kind of hold it in place. I also went ahead and used some of these Merci flowers, and these are from this pack right here. You get 4 of them, and they're really pretty lace flowers. I really love the way they look. I used some more frames here, and I went ahead and added some more metal plates, some more journaling tags, some more of the journaling cards there, a chipboard piece there. There's so many little details in this book, and all of the pages are 6x6, and the chipboard pieces are 6.5 by 6.5, so not a lot of cutting. And you can see here on this last page, I went ahead and added some larger photos, some more journaling cards, and the little tags there, and then this large ship, which is really fun. So you can see that you can add so much stuff using a lot of our coordinating products, such as the journaling cards, the larger journaling cards, the metal plates, the tickets, and the flowers. As a final piece for your book, you want to go ahead and cover your spine, and this is using the Prima burlap. And we do have a burlap sheet that looks sort of like this. Comes in a 12x12, and it's really neat because you can cut it into any size, or you can die cut, but you can also use it for the binding, and that really adds a nice little touch. It also frays naturally, so that will give you this really nice texture on here, and it just makes it look really beachy. So you can use this for the binding of the book, and then you can also attach a ring if you want to, and add like little pieces of ribbon or some embellishments, and just make it look even more shabby. So I hope you guys try that.